Good morning. This is December the 16th, Sunday, 2023, and we are in BBA first semester, section B, compulsory English class, where we are starting to read a research paper today. We have a presenter, Yashasvi Rupani. We'll listen to him, and I might join him if I feel necessary. Yes, Rupani, go ahead. And as Rupani, you might appear with your face here. Do you allow me to publish in YouTube?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go on. Take time, don't hurry. Your job is to make people understand.
So it's going to be tough.
Listen to him very carefully. Pay attention.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yashasvi Rupani, the class representative of this class. Today, I'll be explaining the research paper, Women's Entrepreneurship and Culture, Gender Role Expectations and Identities, Societal Culture, and the Entrepreneurial Environment. I need to give instructions first. Everyone, please open the text, open the soft copy of the text, because it's a 15 pages research paper. You won't be understanding if you can't go with the flow of what I'm teaching
copy?
you.
Open the soft copy.
So first,
as he says, open the soft copy. Everybody in a mobile phones, if you have mobile phones, open the soft copy. It would have been far better if you have a hard copy. I expect you to come to class with hard copies of the text. In tomorrow's class, everybody will bring a hard copy, printed copy.
okay. When we study a research paper, there are several components of a research paper of how we can study the research paper. Like there are around 8 to 9 components of a research paper. First, we would start with the title. Then we will go to the abstract. Then we will move on to the keywords. Then the GEL classifications. Then introduction. Then we slowly move into the body.
Take time and do not hurry, otherwise they will just miss the things.
Perfect. First, we will start with the title, then the abstract, then the keywords, then the GEL classifications, then the introduction, as we all know. Then we'll slowly move into figures like this. There's one figure in the whole research paper. Then this is the start of body. There are 3 themes.
Go to the first. We are too fast. Go to the first.
So should I go one by one?
Paper, the first thing is read the title, okay? Read the
Title.
And pay attention to every word in the title.
Yes, sir.
For example, this paper is about women's entrepreneurship. This is the broad topic. And then within that there are see, the focus is on culture. Entrepreneurship and culture. Entrepreneurship and gender role expectations. Entrepreneurship and identity. Entrepreneurship and social culture. So do you see the column there? Women's entrepreneurship and culture topic. Then there are subtopics. Gender role expectations and identity is 1. Social culture 2. And entrepreneurial environment 3. So there are 3 focus. Okay, go on.
So should I go one by one, or should I just name the components first?
Go slowly. You might take tomorrow's class also, but make sure they understand.
Okay, sir. Sir, I'll first just name the components.
Go.
Okay. The title, the abstract, the keywords, GEL classifications, introduction. There's a figure in the introduction. Then we start body from here. The three themes in the topic, they will be explained here. That's the body. And slowly we move further. Then we will see sample and data sets. Sample and data sets is basically the kind of research methods that were used to get this paper. Then comes the articles in this issue. This consists of 8 empirical papers. So all of those are combined and made into a single research paper. So we'll be talking about that in here. Then lastly, we have discussions and conclusions. These are basically questions on the basis of the 3 themes, which I have answers already prepared. Then this is conflict of interest, then references, and there's 2-3 pages of references. So we know that it's a well researched research paper, so we can trust the authors of the research paper.
Okay,
So now,
take the marker and in that corner from top write the components. Take time. You can use your notes if you need to refer to notes.
no sir, it's fine, sir.
Write the components. And as he writes, your job is not putting hands in the pocket. हाथ गोजीमा राखेर न्यानो बनाएर बस्ने होइन। हात बाहिर निकाल्ने, कलम समातेर पेपरमा सार्ने। हामीले पढ्नेमा गोजीमा हालेर बनाएर पनिस गर्छ। पनिसै गर्छ। चोरमा पनि गोजीमा हाल्दै उठिहाल्छ। As he notes on the whiteboard, you note down. Note down the components. As he writes on the board, note it down. Whatever he writes on the whiteboard, you should meticulously note down in your copy. If the presenter writes something on the board, your job is to note it down in your copy. Okay, look, there are 8 components: title, abstract, keywords, JEL classification, Journal of Economic Literature, J capital, E capital, L capital. And then we have introduction section, body section, discussions and conclusions, and references. Yashasvi, quickly and very briefly tell what each component is about. Very quickly and briefly.
So all
Tell
these components?
what each component is about.
Sure, sir. So, so I'll just take the help of this paper.
Okay, you can use it.
Yes, sir. So, as we all know, the title would be the main title: the women's entrepreneurship and culture, gender role expectations and identities, societal culture.
How many words are there in this title?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
There is a rule, not applied everywhere, but title should not exceed 12 words. But a good title is one that has less words. A good title is one that has fewer words. Yes, go on. Yes.
Okay. So, if we start with the title, we need to understand meaning of each and every word to be able to read the research paper. Women's entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is basically a concept which is entrepreneurs can be women or male both, but here we are focusing on women entrepreneurs as it is a very understudied topic. Women entrepreneurship and its culture, gender role expectations. As the patriarchal society suggests that women are only fit for house jobs, we consider them not fit for entrepreneurship. We consider them not fit for business. So these gender role expectations basically say that women are not for the business world or the real world. They are only for the home, which I don't agree for. Women entrepreneurship, women entrepreneurs, identities, different identities have been talked about here. The societal culture, the society's culture towards women entrepreneurs, and the entrepreneurial environment that exists right now and that should exist for women entrepreneurs to do better. Then we move on to the authors. These are the 4 authors who together form this research paper. Amanda Bullough is a professor of global entrepreneurship and leadership employment. Ulrich Guklich is professor of entrepreneurship and employment again. Tatiana S. Manolova is a professor of global entrepreneurship. Lynn Skolkut, professor of international business and entrepreneurship and organizational employment. This was published. This was accepted by the board on 30 September 2020 and was slowly published online on 9th January 2021 in the Springer Science Plus Business Media Magazine LLC of the part of Springer Nature 2021 series.
We call that container. Container is a journal where an article is published. Okay? The journal in which an article is published, we call that container. Yes, go on.
Okay, now we'll be moving on to the abstract. Now, what is an abstract? An abstract is basically a short summary of our completed research intended to describe our work without going into great detail. I'll just write this down.
Okay. An abstract is short summary of the whole research. Okay.
You can just consider it as a short summary. You don't need to write much for it. It's just a short summary of the research paper which we read before reading the research paper. For example, if you have read a book or if you are buying a book, you see the book and on the back there's something written on the book which basically which basically explains you what is the book about or what will you learn from this book. It's just a small short summary of what genre this is. Exactly that. Abstract is the backside part of a novel. This is the backside part of the whole research paper. So it is a short summary of our completed research intending to describe our work without going into great detail. Now, abstract also have 4 different components which I'll be writing down here. So abstract is again divided into 4 different parts. The first would be statement of problem or statement of issue. What is the problem statement?
Listen carefully, understand, go on noting as he notes over there.
What is the
At the end of the class, the whiteboard should be copied to your note copy.
What is the statement of problem or what is the problem statement? Like what is the problem we are dealing with? Second would be research methods. The different research methods which were used to gather the data to be able to solve the problem. Third would be the findings or the results we got from this research. And the last would be the main conclusion or the main solution what we have received from the data solving the main problem. This is a very big text, so if I go on reading line by line, it will take a week or more. So I'll be just highlighting which statement represents which part of the component. For example, I'll just start reading anyway. Here. Women's entrepreneurship is increasingly important for creating new jobs and contributing to differences and inequalities. I've read my own version. Even though women entrepreneurship is growingly important, yet the differences and inequalities of it and its culture are currently understudied. So what we have learned here is women's entrepreneurship is growingly important. That is the background that is provided to you. That women entrepreneurship is important for the environment or the surroundings. But yet here is used as a argumentative indicator. For example, as we use but. So this is giving us a new claim or a new argument that even though it is growingly important, still the differences and the inequalities of women entrepreneurship and its culture are currently understudied. So the part after the yet, this is written in a very proper way. You can just consider this as problems, interplay and nuances. So problems of women entrepreneurship and culture, problems of women entrepreneurship culture are currently understudied. This is a problem statement. This would be a problem statement. Now we move further. This research paper consists of 8 empirical papers. Somewhere it might be written. Yeah, in this special issue, we present 8 empirical papers that delve into aspects of dynamic interaction between gender and culture in shaping women's entrepreneurship. So the 8 empirical papers are example of the second component of abstract, that is the research methods. These papers provide a framework for it and its research for it, culture, for organizing the exponential research into 3 interconnecting themes. So this whole research paper will be divided into 3 interconnecting themes. Which are simply taken from the title. If I underlined here only, gender role, expectations and identities. This is your first theme. Societal culture, you can add the word dimensions here. This will be your second theme. And entrepreneurial environment will be your third theme. So those 8 empirical papers, which are the example of research methods, has composed the whole research paper into 3 different themes, which are gender role expectations and identities, societal culture dimensions, and the entrepreneurial environment. So this is the third component. Now we move on to the fourth component. These methods or these 8 empirical papers helps to integrate research on women's entrepreneurship and culture, exploring the dynamic and complex interactions between gender and culture further in different economic and social systems and across countries. So the part integrating research on women's entrepreneurship and culture and exploring these dynamic and complex interactions is our main conclusion. Statement of problem issue was that it is growingly important, still it is understudied. 8 empirical papers are our research methods. These themes were the results or findings. We used the 8 empirical papers which helped us find that there are 3 themes on basis of which these issues are getting created. And the fourth says main conclusion. The main conclusion was that to integrate such a research on this topic, we need the help of all these 3 themes which are found from the research methods. Then after we finished title and abstract, keywords. There are several keywords written here, like we can understand a lot from that because it basically explains what this means or what we have written in this means. So women, the research paper will be about women, women's entrepreneurship, the gender issues women face during women entrepreneurship activities, and the culture that revolves around the women entrepreneurship, which gives problems to women. Now we read.
Let me add here. Keywords are the words that are used by search engines on internet to sort out the paper and show those who search for the paper. For example, if you go to Google and write women's entrepreneurship, Google will show you this paper because that is the keyword, right? So keywords are very important and you should create very strategic keywords. If your paper has good keywords, more and more people will find your paper. And keywords should be the central ideas of your paper. The keywords should reflect the key points of your paper. So that mainly keywords are used to help other researchers who are Googling or who are going to library looking for paper, they can easily find your paper. If not having a keyword in a paper is you not having your name. If you don't have your name, nobody knows you. People know you because you have a name. I can call you, I can locate you, call you, talk to you because you have a name. So if your paper has keywords, people can find your paper. Okay? Go on.
Okay, sir. Then we can see a term called gel classifications. We really haven't studied about what is gel classifications until today. So I'll be explaining what is gel classifications. Gel classifications is basically particular codes which help us relate this research paper with the economic world. The baseline is that it just helps us to relate the paper with the economic world. So now there are several meanings of the alphabet in front of the numbers. The word B would refer to the history of economic thought, methodologies and heterodox approaches, means the approaches which are being considered since the beginning. E would refer to macroeconomics and monetary economics. J I'm not sure of J, L and M, I just figured out
Journal?
the B.
Journal?
No sir, journal would be JEL, Journal of Economic.
Okay.
But these codes like I have example of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. A is general economics, B is history of economic thought, C is mathematical and quantitative methods, D is microeconomics, E is macroeconomics, F international economics, G financial economics, and H would be public economics. Then now we will finally get into the
system to categorize the journals.
yes, exactly. Now we'll be starting with the introduction. What is the introduction? An introduction is basically a text which will provide us background info, which clarifies our focus of studying this paper, specifies our overall research, and points out the values of it. Guys,
Can you erase?
this part.
You have written it down?
Now we will be reading a summarized version of the whole introduction, as the introduction would be very long to read because it's filled with different references of different people from different years, their names and years. So I'll just be summarizing the whole introduction part.
Read slowly. As you read the summary, try to write if possible or remember.
Women entrepreneurs help contribute to economic growth of social.
Is it possible, necessary that we also would write some points of summary if possible?
So it's
Okay, just even one word for 1 point.
one word for 1 point,
One word.
sir. I'll try.
That way you will also have time to write and they will also have time to write. If we could write on the board. Let's take time, then we are not in a hurry. Our purpose is to understand the thing, not to finish presentation. So he will try to write the points and you copy the points. And then you explain the points. Today is a problem. Who should do that? Today is a problem. The purpose is the purpose is
So I'll read the point first, then I'll just write some points from it. Women entrepreneurs help contribute to economic growth and social progress all over the world.
Okay, just write helps social progress. Helps social progress. And now we know that women's entrepreneurship contributes to social progress.
Everything,
Try to write 1 word, 2 word points. Go on.
everything from the base ideas,
Read again.
everything from the base ideas to their initiatives, everything is submerged in a complex and multi-layered cultural environment.
Culture affects entrepreneurship. Second point. Culture affects entrepreneurship. Second point. You read the detail, I'll quickly make a point.
Culture affects.
Culture affects entrepreneurship. Culture affects entrepreneurship.
So you sure?
I guess read again. Read again.
So it's this much.
Read the point only.
Thus, gender and culture dynamically helps to shape the roles and identities in the economical and social environment.
Yeah. So it's broadly saying culture affects entrepreneurship. That's the point. It is the third point.
According to Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, 231 million women launched businesses in 59 economies during 2018 and 19. This is just a data.
Okay.
This is the data
Very
provided to
data.
us. Yeah, this is the
When
data.
we summarize, we ignore
The data. Yes, sir.
Go on.
Many government institutions have long recognized importance of women in process of economic development, individual health and societal advancement.
Not important. Move ahead. Not important.
Even though this proves importance of women entrepreneurs, but these issues are still not explored well.
Okay. Just right. There are unexplored issues. That's all.
Understood.
Okay. Yeah. That is good. Good. Understand.
Culture is a multi-layer construct comprising of an external, global layer.
She has a question, I guess. You want to ask?
I didn't understand that
Which one?
Entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship.
no, that you and
Understudied, understudied.
Understudied, not properly studied. Understudied.
Culture is a multi-layer construct comprising of an external, global layer which penetrates society's indigenous layers and becomes a set of shared values within groups ultimately.
Okay, that's right. Culture has broad meaning.
Broad concept.
Yeah, culture has many meanings. That's the point of the thing she said. Then,
Further, cultural indicators relate to specific beliefs, norms.
okay. You made the points on the paper as these points.
Sir, these have been meanings have been removed by me.
Okay.
Sir, I submitted you the
Did you
paper.
make these points or paper has these points?
Sir, these meanings.
These words you made it or the paper has?
So I just you said take out the hard words. These are the hard words. So norms is one of the words. So do you have that paper by any chance?
Huh?
The one I submitted you.
I haven't gone through.
Do you have that right now?
Right now?
Because it has all the meanings.
Did you submit soft copy?
So I submitted you a printed
I may
copy.
not have downloaded.
No, sir, I submitted you a printed copy.
It's in the office.
So it has all the
You
meanings.
need it? You need it?
Yes, I think so. It has all the meanings.
I'll bring it for you. It will take a minute.
January 15th.
Yes, sir. I could not
Yes, sir.
locate the material. You as you can. I could not locate. It's not yours.
छैन सर
I could not locate.
सो त्यसमा के सबैको एउटा एउटा वर्डको मिनिङ थियो
Yes,
द्याट्स
explain as much as you can.
Okay, sir. So, norms are basically several beliefs or all stereotypes that we have set. So we were reading that further cultural indicators relate to specific beliefs or norms like stereotypes, expectations that affect social culture. This and the entrepreneurial environment within which businesses are found operate together to affect women's entrepreneurship. So, the old norms plus the entrepreneurial environment, they both work together to affect women entrepreneurship. Culture shows multiple layers of differences in the world of women entrepreneurship across societies that lead to the success or failure of business. Most of these barriers are gender related and generate from cultural values, customs, and etc. You can just add gender as a topic here, which also affects women entrepreneurship. I need Sir, I don't remember the meaning of that.
Move ahead. No, just ignore. If you don't know something, ignore.
Sir,
Move ahead.
okay, sir.
You don't need to explain everything. If you don't know something, move ahead.
Okay. Gender equality. Sir, how do you pronounce this?
Move ahead.
So I just skip the word. So how
If
to
you don't know
pronounce?
something, skip it.
So pronounce
Which word?
the second one.
Egalitarianism.
Gender
Egalitarianism means equality.
egalitarianism. Gender egalitarianism, gender role expectations, and the ecosystem of entrepreneurs are not explored properly in women's entrepreneurship. Again, we are going to the topic of understudied because
That is, a good research paper shows a research gap, knowledge gap. There is something that people do not know. Therefore, I am writing this paper. You write a paper only when there is something which people don't know or which you don't know. If you know everything, why would you write a paper? So research gap, understudied means these are the areas which people have not studied so far. So please read my paper. That's one. Yes, go on.
social customs and attitudes towards entrepreneurship partly reflects its perceptions which are prone to bias. Traditionally defined gender roles already put women behind family responsibilities while men provide economically. This basically shows us patriarchy. That the world is a patriarchal world as it wants women to stay behind family responsibilities and wants the men to go and earn and provide economically. These exact gender role expectations limit women's access to income earning opportunities. It makes them financially less feasible in the world. There are also positive notions about women entrepreneurship portrayed in several articles from this research paper, which till some extent counterbalances. I have written the word here, counterbalances. Counterbalances basically means balancing negatives and positives in a proper manner so that there's no effect of it. So there are positive notions about women entrepreneurship portrayed in several articles from this research paper, which till some extent counterbalances the male and female stereotypes and biasness. While on one hand, work-life imbalance makes barriers for women starting businesses, they still have found ways to mix their personal and work lives. Basically what this is trying to say is, even though women have to mix their family life and their business life together, they are still considered much more efficient as men, even though men have to only go and earn economically as suggested in the research paper. So they are still more efficient even though they have to balance family life and business life, even though men are only taking care of the business life. Women's capabilities are recognized related to their business goals, skills that are developed well from house responsibilities that can still impact women, like multitasking, interpersonal skills, and empathy. Having these family skills helps them to also take these in the business world. For example, multitasking. If, for example, my mother can multitask, she can cook two different dishes at the same time. Exactly, she can do two different report filling while being in the office because she knows how to multitask. She has interpersonal skills. If she can go outside the house and talk to her neighbors about water not coming today, if that's an issue, the same way she can go to the HR in the office and discuss an issue from all the other employees and becoming a leader for all the women and speaking for them. Other researchers also show that women teaching businesses, the notion becomes established. This helps to shift cultures in ways which will reduce barriers to women by adding legitimacy. So by adding legitimacy, legitimate actions, we can reduce these barriers for women. Hence, the notion of women in leading becomes much more engraved in the culture, social and economic status. What this is saying is, women leaders are far more better than men leaders. Special issue of SBE. One of the special articles from this article from the SBE, which is Small Business and Economics.
Here's a question. What do you mean by legitimacy? She didn't even explain the word.
Legitimate means, sir, I don't know the meaning.
If something is not legitimate, it's not legal. Legitimacy means legal criterion to be acceptable. If you are not 20 years old, you are not legitimate to get married to. Look. If you cross 20, you become legitimate to get married, for example. If you are less than 18, you are not legitimate to buy cigarette, for example. So legitimacy is the legal qualification that makes you want to do something. Okay, Rupani, I'll take the last 10 minute time you give me.
Sure,
I want to
sir.
say something. You are doing a very tough task. He is doing a very, very, very difficult job. Okay? So let me help you something. We'll
Sure, sir.
continue tomorrow.
Sure, sir.
I'll take this last
Sure, sir.
last minute. 10 minutes, okay?
Sure, sir.
And explain something. And what I explain, Rupani, you listen carefully, it will help you tomorrow. If you listen carefully, and it will guide you tomorrow. Okay. Can I erase this? Let me in 10 minutes show you how to read the paper, how to make notes, and then how to explain those things in class to your classmates. I know I gave you a very difficult task, I know. And I did this on purpose, because if you don't know difficult things, you won't grow. Right? People do not grow by doing easy things. So let me explain you. Okay. So, can I get a hard copy of the paper if you have? Printed copy?
Sir, I don't have
You don't have. Show me the first page. Show me the first page of the paper. Okay. So what you do, it's my way. And you will gradually learn other ways also presenting these things. So here I write women's entrepreneurship. And then what I do, and I write and culture. So now I write women entrepreneurship, culture, gender role expectations, gender role expectations and identities societal culture, okay, entrepreneurial environment. So if I'm explaining as a presenter, so I will first come with this kind of diagram on the whiteboard, for example. Look, and I'll say this paper, this research paper is about women. It will not talk much about men. It will not talk about children. Right? Its major focus will be about women. Okay? Now, this is a broad topic of the paper, right? And you can look at a paper like this, inverse pyramid, right? So here you write women broadly, then entrepreneurship, then culture, then gender role expectations, then society culture, then entrepreneurial environment. What I am trying to tell you is that you tell your class or you understand that the broadest topic is women. Now ask a question, what will this paper tell us about women? What will this paper tell us about women? Then you answer, this paper will tell about women's entrepreneurship. What do you mean by entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship, your ability to invest money and start a business. So this paper is about women doing business. This paper is about women doing business. Now the third keyword is culture, right? And there is a word and, if you see. Look there, there is a word and. So this paper will examine women's business, women's entrepreneurship in relation to culture. How does culture influence women's business? How does culture influence women's business? Then, how does gender role expectation influence women's business? How does gender identities influence business? How does societal culture influence women's business? How does entrepreneurial environment influence women's business? So what I did, I spent 5 minute time focusing on the title. I extracted the heart of the title, women's business. What? Women's business. Broad topic is women's business. And the narrow focus is in relation to culture, in relation to gender expectation, in relation to gender identity, in relation to societal culture, in relation to entrepreneurial environment, and thus I focused on the topic. Now you have a better understanding what this paper is about. Always, whenever you read any research paper in future, the first job is understand the title as clearly as possible. Do not move ahead without properly understanding the title. Reading a paper without understanding a title is looking at somebody without watching their face. You don't know who they are. You can see their body, but you don't know who they are. Right? So titles are like faces. They tell what the paper is about. So we are stopping here. Tomorrow, now another thing, wait a minute. I want to tell this thing to Yashasvi and to whole class, a help to you. What is happening as I saw your presentation, I appreciate your hard work. I appreciate your courage. You have taken up something very difficult job. Many teachers do not have courage to explain such things. What you do, here is a paragraph, right? I'll give a trick to you. Here is a paragraph in this paper. Ask a question. What is the main idea of this paragraph? Ask a question. What is the main idea of the paragraph? And as you come for presentation, write MI, write para 1. And write MI and write one sentence main idea. You can copy the same sentence or you can make your own sentence, right? Second question you ask is, what are supporting details in your presentation? Hello? In your presentation, you can ignore details, but if you think some details are important, you can talk about that. I want you to bring the main idea of each paragraph. And you will see that as you weave together, if there are 20 paragraphs, you bring to class 20 main ideas. And you will see that the 20 main ideas have a progressive connection. They have a connection. And if you can get 20 main ideas for 20 paragraphs, they will present the best summary of the whole essay. Okay? So tomorrow we'll listen to him again. And I might interfere, I might intervene, I may collaborate. We'll be teaching it together. Just imagine there are two teachers in your class. One your friend, one your old teacher. Young teacher, old teacher. Right? So we stop here today. Thank you. Don't worry. I know it's a difficult thing we are doing.